weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay? And with the previous course, we did exercises on that. So just know how to best use it. There was an interesting thing in the last course. There was a colleague from EATM. I think he's doing bodybuilding and things like that, eating lots of vitamins classes. And he is, I think, an engineer as well, very capable. He already did the extended or advanced version of a Swot. So you have the knowledge, I think, in your company. Very good. He was a very strong guy as well. But the beauty now is that Mr. Lee will share with us an example on an EATM case, based on an EATM case. So when you did a Swot, what you did, and what you took into consideration, what you figured out, right? Again, about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I hope for your support.
Yeah. So that's our. Well, actually, it's not official yet. It is the draft version of our strategy, and we already do the SWOT analysis of our company. So first, about the strength, we identify that being a state-owned enterprise will be a strength for our development because we will get the support from the government.
Okay, this is the rationale. We get this full support from the government because we are state-owned.
Yeah.
You were just saying something about privatization. The new.
Well, yeah, there are some like in our. At the moment, our ANSP provide all navigation services, including the ATM, AIS, MET, search and rescue, and
CNN.
and CNS.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, when we are reviewing the aviation law, there's some idea, there's some opinion that we only fully 100 only the ATM and the AIS service is under 100% government control, or maybe provided by the 100% government wholly owned enterprise, like that. And for the three other services like search and rescue, MET, and CNS can be not really privatized, but the government will only own 65%.
65%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of privatized. It's kind of like to give the other company, the enterprise, the opportunity to provide something like CNS and some service.
That's very interesting. We have the same conversation here. There are examples in Europe. On one hand, take the German Bahn with its outstanding performance, the Deutsche Bahn. Here, the decision has been taken years ago to separate operations from infrastructure. So CNS could be seen as infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
So whether you benefit from it or not, this has to be then proven. There are other examples here in Europe when it comes to ANSP. The Italian ANSP went to stock, right?
Yeah.
Enough, which is interesting, and it changed a lot of the culture. So before it was safety. Now it says we need to protect the investor. Yeah.
We need to make some profit, something like that.
It's about protecting the investors and making profit. So this is make something with the organization. We were thinking of selling DFS. We wanted to sell 74.9%. 74.9%. We wanted to sell DFS. Why 74.9%? As long as you hold at least 25.1, according to German law, you can stick on the corporate, on the purpose, on the business, you know. So, for example, if one would buy DFS by more than 75%, he could change the business in terms of, I stopped doing air traffic control, I'm now selling bananas. Yeah, maybe this is the reason why you want to sell only 65%. Yeah, okay. So, it's an interesting conversation. The point is, if this will take place, will this remain a strength? Right? I was told that you
I'm not sure. Actually, at the moment we don't have any impact analysis on what will happen if we give away our control to all the ANS service. But anyway, we still get the support from the government, at least for the ATM and ANS service, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be in our share anyway.
Okay, but good enough. But you did. That's great. So, but forgive me. Good enough. I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that if you let CNS go, to another company, would this have an impact on your analysis? Right? Okay. So keep this in mind, please.
Yeah.
But perfect. Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Well, next we think that we have some kind of experience and capability because we already have like 30 years in the service since the acquisition of Ho Chi Minh FIR, and we have experience in this industry. Well,
that's a strength. You have a huge expertise. You are very strong. You are very so. That's a good strength. Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect.
And next we have a specialized workforce. Well, at least all of our HME control has been trained in a way that follows the ICAO standard.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the engineer technical staff, and we have all the staff and personnel that was certified and was trained by the certified institution, something like that. So yeah, we have the worksheet.
That's good, isn't it? So we do have the people, we do have the qualification, we do have the expertise. You can build on that, right? This is a strength. We can do something, right?
Yeah.
Good.
And next, we have safety commitment. As I mentioned before, we have a commitment of 100% safety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is the right culture? The culture in place? You have a safety culture?
About the culture, Miss Anna is employing the first culture. So
The question is it a lip service?
Yeah, safety is super important, of course.
Yeah. Or is it here? Right.
We're trying to move it to the hut.
Yes.
so it's somewhere.
On the way.
Yeah.
It's on the way from,
Yeah.
from the lip to the heart. That's good. Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we commit in investment in technology infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
During recent years, we invest we had a lot of projects in improving our system, and by for example install new NSB station, buy new demand system, and we upgrade the ADFM to level 3 in the upper region, and we already invested in a new AIM system. So here we invest a lot in advanced technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of our strength.
Yeah. Again, the strength. Very good.
Yeah.
So you get the money you need, you do things, you are...
well, kind of, yeah.
Kind of, okay. Again, this is a point, when we separated operations from infrastructure within Deutsche Bahn, German Railways, the operations, they have to pay for the service. provided by the infrastructure company. So if you go down this road, if you have this law and you have to comment on the law, as I learned, you have to comment.
Comment on what?
You told me that there's an opinion. That there's an opinion.
Yeah.
And the government is thinking of outsourcing
Some services.
outsourcing some services and to privatize, right?
Yeah.
Or to corporatize.
Yeah. Corporate life.
Maybe it's more corporatization than a privatization. However, it's a different company,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have to comment on this opinion, you may not know everything to whatever extent, but you at least can say, for the time being, it's one of our strengths.
Yeah. At the moment, we have full control over.
We have full control. Yeah. We can balance costs, investments, whatever. We can compensate you. We have a lot of management options. For the time being, it's one of our strengths. Before you decide on it, have a look on the impact. Yeah. So what are the cons and what are the pros? Could be a nice, very fair comment, right?
Yeah.
You do not judge. You say just be aware. For the time being, we, PATM, have identified the situation as it stands as a strength. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Can we continue? Have you seen, do you know all this document?
No, not many of us know it.
So that's good. It's a good good thing to
Yeah, that's some of us.
Okay. They feel so proud, they get like, yes, this. It's good to see it written down there, Stable financial performance. Okay.
Yeah, well, actually, we have profit, the growth in profit over the years. We never lost. We have except from COVID-19, we always have the positive financial performance.
Okay, but you are a non-profit organization, are you?
Well, we are non-profit organization. Yeah, actually we are, but actually we still have to have some profit from our operation, and we give all that profit to the government.
Or you invest?
Yeah, or invest.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Strategic geographical position. Actually, I think this not strength, it should be opportunities, but somehow they put it in the strength section. Our FIR is in the heart of Southeast and Northeast Asia region. So we are on the way between Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia. So there are a lot of regional flyers.
That's good. Okay, and now we come to the weaknesses. Only two, that's good. No, I think it's
the weaknesses, the first, we have the capacity pressure. As I mentioned before, our capacity is reaching the limit. So our limit is in the aspect and airport. But actually, as you mentioned, as we discussed before, we don't know exactly where we have the problem. And we also have problem with efficiency. For example, we have delays in major airport during the peak hour. Yeah.
Let's when we do the work on Monday, let's focus on these things. You have to really help you to understand what's my issue. I have a feeling, because of your experience, you can tell, but you cannot provide numbers.
I'm not sure that we have number, not probably.
Yeah, he will tell us. He will show. He will present a report.
About efficiency delays and something like that.
So, Tom, you will show us a report on Monday, right?
Yes.
Just to tell us what numbers are at hand.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, perfect.
Our weakness is I think that's a strength, not the weakness, but anyway, operational complexity. At the moment, more and more we have more players in the sky. We have more military flights. Recently, we have drones and other UAV operation. So actually, our
Yeah, I would also say it's more a threat than a weakness, one of these challenges we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next will be our technological gap. Despite high investment in technology, although we already invest a lot, but we still have the technological gap with other surrounding around us, other neighboring countries.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Singapore or Thailand. For example, like our stream system, and we don't have a like system in hand to connect with other countries, and we also okay. Let's probably neglect the FFIs and TBO because even Thai and Singapore they didn't implement it.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, like MCCS, that integration and automation, we are still like have a gap, like a lag behind them. So we are still like behind them in technological advance.
Mm-hmm. So again, the point is, if you say it's a weakness, it must be derived from a deficiency, right? So when you say
It should be like that, but anyway, we just compare to them and we see that, well, they have something that we don't have, so we think that it's a weakness.
yeah, but these are huge programs and very cost intensive, right? To implement, as you said, let's neglect TBO. Okay, I'm supporting that idea, but it's not with me. But TBO, all this stuff, it's very, very cost intensive. Huge programs or projects, right? So if you put it here, we don't have that. That's a problem. Yeah, then you should tell what is the problem. And as you perfectly say, even Singapore, and they don't have it in place.
Yeah.
So why should it be a problem? Maybe in terms of looking into the future to incrementally introduce swim will be a good idea. So you have the foundation for whatever will come, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
To increase interoperability and exchange of information. I could imagine that this would be of interest for the safety department as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, huh?
Yeah.
So this could be a requirement coming from safety as well, as long as you do have a problem. If you don't have a problem, but good, okay.
Well, about AS and DCS, we just, well, the problem is that the data that the system return to the ATC is not like sufficient for the control of aircraft on the ground. So I think that AS and DCS is like, it is in place, but it's not efficient enough, something like that.
Yeah. But may I challenge you again?
Yeah. Well, they are saying like, is there any project about to upgrade the AS and DCS, and Mr. Ching said that, well, it's in progress, probably after 2 years it will be in place.
Is involved in the project to upgrade the ISM GCS for by International Airport.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. And from a safety perspective, we would love to see maybe a runway alerting system being included. Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Something like this. So okay. So we were talking. We are still in the context of the 6-step method.
Yeah.
We will come to it. You have to define a target. How to define a target? You have to understand the gap between your baseline and your ambition. Okay? Performance ambition minus baseline, that's the gap. Okay? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where I am now? Minus this is what I have to do. Okay? So when you call it a technology lab gap, is it derived from such a calculation? Yeah, because it's about performance, not implementation. I want to perform like that. Today I'm here. This is the gap. And in order to close the gap, I need this technology. Or is it just...
Not that case. Not that case.
But
Our technological gap is like, Thailand is having this, we are having this. We have the gap with Thailand and Singapore or something like that.
It's your decision, okay? I'm just telling you, we only have the money I have. You want to be, it must be an economic endeavor, right? So, and again, fall in love with the problem, not with the solution. Thailand has this thing, I will also want to have it. So this is okay, yeah, but you know, you will spend a lot of money without knowing whether you have a strong improvement. Okay.
Mình chiến lược của mình như thế mình theo Thái Lan nó chỉ đơn giản là nhập thôi, kết nối chuẩn bị thôi, nhập độ nó thôi.
Nhưng mà chiến lược của mình
Có hẳn là mình nó có cái gì mình làm cái đấy đâu.
Nhưng mà bây giờ cái khoảng cách về công nghệ của mình thì thực ra mình cũng đâu có xác định là mình thiếu cái gì vì sao đâu, là do Covid nó yêu cầu rồi sau đó mình thấy
Trong cái quyết định 22 với cả 236 đấy thì đã xác định là đầu tư cái gì từ đây.
thì đúng rồi.
Mình có mục tiêu của mình mà.
Nhưng mà mục tiêu đấy thì nó vấn đề chậm, có những vấn đề của mình mà không đạt được mục tiêu đấy là do chậm cái triển khai kế hoạch chứ đâu phải là do cái khoảng cách công nghệ đâu. Khoảng cách công nghệ đây bây giờ đã xác định là khoảng cách công nghệ của mình với cái gì?
Với mục tiêu của mình,
Với mục tiêu của mình đó.
đúng.
Mục tiêu của mình là nằm trong top 3 khu vực. Nhưng vấn đề mục tiêu của mình lại là nằm trong top khu vực. We are discussing about our engineer said that now we have like actually the gap is the gap between our baseline and our objective in the future. The problem is that our objective is like to be in the top of the region of the ASEAN region. So actually, like it's still the gap between our system at the moment with the other countries.
Okay. So this is then a more qualitative objective, right? This is not performance-based. It's just I want to be there where others are, right? Yeah, and this is okay. That's okay. You just have to know what you're doing. There will be no immediate return on your investment because you just have it implemented, yeah? and that's okay. Yeah, but normally we are all invited to be very careful with our money and investment, and I can tell you that DFS is not implementing ASMGCS at every airport. Why should we? Yeah, it's expensive, it has to be maintained, and there is no need. Yeah, we do have it in Frankfurt, we do have it in Munich, of course, bigger airports like that. But of course not at every airport, just a few airports. Because it doesn't make any sense. It's not needed, you know? Because we only have the little money we have. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Lee, thank you very much. Would you mind to continue?
Yes.
Continue. So next we have the slow progress. While it's about yeah.
By the way, no. I don't want to disturb. You know, the only...
Ý của thầy không phải là những cái nào đắt hơn, mà ý của thầy là không nhất thiết là phải cái gì mà cũng có.
Đúng rồi, nó có hệ thống
That's it.
rồi, như thế.
Yeah.
Có hệ thống khác như thế.
Yeah. You know, there is. I love what you're doing here. You know why? I have the feeling that you do not do this quite often back home. Obviously, it's interesting to talk, right? And you may tell me, how often do you do this back home? You know, there is, at ICAO level, there is a KPI that says, how often do you meet in a year? Yeah, it's not about how effective was the meeting, what is it? Just how often do you meet and talk? There is a KPI in the manual.
Xét cái KPI cũng cao quá. We do have a lot of meetings.
You do have.
Yep, we do have a lot of meetings, but with this kind of discussion, it's rarely.
So, you know, I organized a strategic planning process for civil military in Germany, and I provided some platforms for CNS and ATM systems for airspace and procedures and for aeronautical information management. So and there are lots of military, high rank, whatever, military representatives joined the room, and there was a civil part. I organized everything, did the moderation, even at ministerial level. And you know what happened? They started to talk to each other. It was fantastic, yeah. And the civil guys were watching. And then we did, can we have a break 10 minutes? Of course. So we provided a platform for them to meet and to talk, because they did not do that before. Yeah, this was an interesting learning, and again, please try to meet back home and to discuss all this stuff. Yeah. Okay, please, Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right. Next we have the slow project progress. I think that's the same as every country, but the project is not always in the like the progress that we expect.
Yeah, welcome to the talk.
Yeah. And the next is the measure SMS system.
Okay.
Well, probably know is the best. Next, we have the dependence on imported technology. Yeah, for sure, we cannot develop, we cannot make any system for our own use. We all have to buy it from somewhere else, and we have to depend on the foreign supplier of the technology. Government flexibility. Well, because we are the state enterprise, well, we get some. It's our opportunity. It's our strength at first, because we are state-owned enterprise. We get the support from the government, but in other hand, we have to depend on the government on decision making. So many projects and many investment have to rely on them. So we don't have the flexibility in our own decision. And last, also we had in the trend I already mentioned that we have the specialized workforce, but actually our workforce is just trained and certified, but not really fully master the latest technology, and we are still lagging behind the development of ATM technology. So yeah. So our
Any questions for that? No, it's good.
Yeah, next about the about opportunities. In the trend, I already mentioned that our geographical location is kind of the opportunity. So again, the aviation market is promising market, because we are in the we have the preferred geographical location between the Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia. So we have a very promising aviation market. Our country, in Vietnam, we have growing HFE demand because of the developing economy, and in the upper region also has a quite high rate of development in aviation. So we are benefiting from the growing HFE demand. As I mentioned before about the airport network expansion plan, we have a very ambitious plan for the airport expansion, and when the airport they expand, of course we have to develop ourselves to fit to them. So we can nail ourselves to that plan to make a very ambitious plan for ATM. Yeah. So that's our opportunities. Of course, it's a challenge too, but it's an opportunity to get money from the government.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we have the strong government support again. Yeah, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Next, we have the access to advanced ATM technology. Well, I think that every country, I think that every country has the same opportunities to access to advanced ATM technology, not only Vietnam, but again, and at the moment, we think that the new emerging technology like AI, data or cloud technology is an opportunity for Vietnam, not only for Vietnam, but for many countries, upgrade the system to be more efficient.
Is it just a generic point, or do you really do something at the ATM with AI and so?
Well,
Well,
Mr. Kian, do we have any project or anything with emerging technology, or we just see
in
it?
safety we are trying.
Uh,
We have to hide đúng không?
we have some
We đang hide. In safety,
cái đề tài của bên em đấy.
in safety we have two projects with AI, and for safety assurance and for collecting data, right?
Đúng không?
Yeah, we have to listen again the record.
Voice recognition.
Yeah, so instead of reducing the time that we have to pay for it, we are using data. We are using AI. We're trying to using AI to reduce the time we have to spend for it. For example, if we need to listen again the record from the ATC for about 4 hours, we are trying to use AI to.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you are safety guy, so you know.
Yeah, that's because we talked about that and we didn't do it. We didn't decide to do it because the AI just transfers the word into a document, right?
Yes.
It's just a transcription.
Yeah.
When you do the investigation, you have to look at it. But the AI does not recognize the tense, the speech, whether it was very, there's a human being listening
Yes.
gets more information than the AI just from the spoken word, right?
We still have to do it by ourselves.
Okay.
But just in case we need to reduce or we're still in the learning session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing is that.
Yeah, and you can select. For this cases, it's AI. For this more severe cases, maybe we do it personally, something like that. Interesting. This could be a target, right?
And
When you talk about innovation, this could be also a PI or KPI or something. As I spoke about Microsoft, say we are implementing AI with the aim to reduce the workload for our investigators. Interesting, right? So you could come up with a lot of things for safety already. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So next with international collaboration, we have often opportunities to connect with many organizations. But I think that is an opportunity for any country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next will be the international prestige. I really don't understand what is opportunity here, actually. But we think that the modernization will enhance our reputation, but I don't understand how a better ATM reputation will attract the allies to choose Vietnamese aspect. No, I don't think that's the way that allies choose one country or maybe one destination. But anyway, we think that we just make it up.
So it's not you did not develop it yourself.
It's not only actually it's not me who developed this version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you think of, and this could drive also the one or the other thing, is for example, as an example in Europe, right? Airlines, they do look at their costs, right? Total costs.
Yeah.
So on a basis on every individual flight. Therefore, they are interested to burn as less fuel as possible, right?
Yeah.
So most direct routes, yeah.
Yeah.
They do accept a detour or something, yeah.
Yeah.
For example, if the unit rate for the air traffic services is lower than in the neighboring state,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So in Europe, for example, airlines love to circumnavigate Belgium because Belgium is much more expensive than Germany, for example. Only up to 40 kilometers or so. Yeah? If they have to do more, then it doesn't. It's not a good calculation, right? So this could be something. Or if the environment is not safe, if there are too many accidents, they will take into consideration saying, wow, the Vietnam airspace is much more safe, I take the 20 kilometers more. Right? Something like this. So it's not only about prestige, it's really about performance, the quality, all the costs. Right?
It happens in Vietnam. For example, with United Airlines, when they launched the direct flight from United States to Vietnam, they also have to research the environment, is that safe enough? Yeah, and I think aviation service is one of their concern. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Good.
Okay.
New service development.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's not completely new service. This has like another service that we already know, but I think that we think that we can do some like optimization consulting service, or maybe we can provide training service for other organizations. So kind of like probably we think. I think that the one who built this opportunities think that we can be something like DAS.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is one of our goal, our chairman goal, right? Chủ tịch cũng từng nhắc là cái mục tiêu của tương lai sẽ dạy cho mấy Đức.
I don't know. Okay, about the threats. The threat is that like at the moment the ATM technology is like developing so fast, and we have to well actually we have the threat of lagging behind because we don't like moving fast enough, we don't invest enough. So yeah, so it's a threat. Although it's also opportunity as well. The second is that the new technology require very high investment. So it means that we will need to, but actually our financial mechanism, our state-owned like enterprise model will not give us enough the financial requirements that we need. So that's a threat. The third is the risk of project delay and cost overrun. I think that is happen with any ASP. Yeah.
But the question is just to understand why is this so? Do I have too many projects running at the same time, or what is it, right? So just
we have like we do have many projects running at the same time, and we like people to be capable of like handling all the projects.
Yeah.
And the second is that because of the delay, the cost will be like the project will cost more due to the kind of like inflation or something else like that. So
here's the duplication from the opportunities when you talk about military. So maybe more here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next is nuclear is the next one.
Yeah.
The next price, I think that's six. Yeah. The next price is about the human resource development and retention. Also, our staff are like being trained and certified. However, we face the competition for employing, for recruiting new talent employee to our corporation, because of our state-owned enterprise model. We are not flexible in paying and in remuneration. So it means that our working environment is not attractive enough to recruit people, and our human resource model must follow the government model, so it's also very rigid. Very rigid.
I see, yeah.
Actually, multi-stakeholder coordination is actually, I think that is a requirement for any ASP to coordinate with the stakeholder. But anyway, it's still a threat because we have to coordinate with the military, with the airport operator, with the airlines, with the state regulator. We don't have to deal with local government or maybe the environment protection organization.
Okay.
So I think that is not a really big threat. But anyway, to coordinate with the military or with the ACB, with the airport operation is still very hard.
Maybe it's more weakness, maybe a weakness.
I think it's a weakness.
It's a weakness.
Yeah.
What does ACV stand for?
Airport Corporation of Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's an airport operator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, last one.
There's
Some more. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cybersecurity data set.
Yeah, so about cybersecurity, that is a threat for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
About global economic potential volatility. It's a threat. Because of the tension between countries, especially when Vietnam is linked to China.
Okay. Mr. Hang is Deputy Director of Security Department, right?
Right.
So is there any resilience program on way or so to increase the resilience?
First of all, the cybersecurity program.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Okay. And emergency response in terms of crisis pandemics, you have plans in place and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Emergency response planning and...
Yeah, we do have the contingency plan for
Okay.
the crisis and pandemic. We do have.
Yeah. So it's mitigated. The threat is already mitigated, this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one will be mitigated.
Yeah, we have mitigation plan for that.
Okay, very good.
Climate change adaptation. It's a threat because of climate change. Also, we have to face the sustainable development pressure because, recently Vietnam signed a lot of environmental agreement. So, in the past, we don't care about environment. We don't care how much fuel we have to save, or maybe how much carbon footprint we have to we will make. But at the moment, we will have to look at the carbon footprint and something like that. Yeah.
This is what you told me last time. It's no problem. It's not a challenge or something. We do not have to care about it.
Yeah.
You will have to care about it.
Yeah.
And if you think about the new airports and the standardized procedures, you should take into consideration from the outset the idea of can I contribute to this already, right? It will become a target. So if you can, for example, introduce continuous operations or something like this for departures and arrivals, you will have a good contribution already here, right? Okay. CEO, CCO.
Yes. And the last one about regional competition, well, we don't have any direct competition because ANSP never had any direct competition. But we think that we have some indirect competition from other ANSP like Singapore or Thailand in advancing the technology and in attracting the global flight traffic. Yeah.
Very good.
Cái này nào cũng nặng.
Cho cái kế hoạch chiến lược.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was so helpful because it's much better than just to do this theory. Last time we more focused on a very specific project like RTC, and here we went up to the level of the corporate EATM as a company, right? So this is a much higher level. The interesting thing for me would be if this is the Swot at company level, I think this will be part or is part of the development of your revised strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a strategy, as you perfectly know, the strategy has to be operationalized. Yeah? Because people have to understand the strategy. It's a high level, right?
Yeah.
And if you operationalize it, it will materialize in activity charts or projects. So everyone has understood and everyone knows what to do in order to contribute to this strategy. Right? And here everything comes together. Yeah? If you have your master plan and you have your strategy, then you should have the information on base you can measure that you achieve the goals set out in the strategy, right? Through all the various projects and activities. Okay? Okay. This was very helpful, thank you. I will now rush with you through the presentation so that we can just finalize this part of the session. So this is what we did. Very, very, very helpful. Thank you, Lee. This was so much meat on the bone. It was really good. Thank you. And the interesting thing is that a number of you haven't seen this before, right? This is a good information. Huh? Take it back home and try to understand how does it affect me. By the way, what is the current state of the strategy? What do I have to do? What is my department expected to contribute? Okay. We talked about this, yeah? If you have the master plan, you already have an idea on what to agree and what to prioritize, yeah? And again, and I'm fast now because we already talked about it, be smart, yeah? Be smart. And smart means when you set a target, be very specific in what you do. It must be measurable, therefore we need metrics and KPIs or PIs, right? It must be achievable. Okay? My daughter is fantastic at an age of 16 with her violin. I think she just managed successfully the selection for a young college at an age of 16 for the university. If I would set a target, within 2 years I can play like her. Stupid, of course. Not achievable.
But actually, what's the baseline? Are you like a pro and just need to...
No, I do play the saxophone and I play a little bit of piano, but I will never play violin. So even in 20 years I won't do that. So, it must be achievable, right? So what does 100% safety mean? This is not specific. 100% safety is not specific, right? And if you say no accident, period, this is not achievable. Yeah? Okay? So we will work on this on Monday? Okay. Yeah. It must be relevant, of course, safety is relevant, blah, blah, blah. Don't do irrelevant things. Things that do not support your increase in performance. And it must be time-bounded. You have very clear targets, 5 years. Yeah. But if you do a project in terms of, I want to make sure that the airspace design of the Hanoi TMA with both airports now, yeah, will support the accommodation of the number of flights necessary to support 50 million passengers going in and out every year. Right?
That's a top. Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. But the airspace design, including ATS routes, including SITs and stars, and maybe continuous operations as well in order to contribute to the sustainability challenge, right? To the environment, must be in place before everything steps up. To do so, you have to define a number of milestones, like fast time simulation, and so on and so forth, right? And these needs to be time-bounded as well, yeah? And you have to have the KPIs in place. the delay or safety or whatever should not be bad or should be as today. Yeah? What is as today? Today we have an average delay per movement of 30 seconds, let's say. Yeah? So in 2030, the average delay per movement and route should not exceed 30 seconds. This could be a target. Very challenging, yeah, but a target. And the same for departure, arrival, whatever. So let's agree on a few, only a few, please, few, not a lot. KPIs on which you base, yeah, you're okay. And this is what I try to bring forward again and again and again. The target minus where you stand today, this is your need, this is the gap, and you want to close the gap. What is the best solution to be chosen? So we talked about this, we choose the solution. There is a catalog, and Lee told us already, we went to the catalog when it was about performance objectives. Yeah. And there is a nice catalog, and objectives means quantitative, ambitions qualitative, objectives quantitative. Yeah. Therefore, be careful with the number of KPIs. You need the raw data for that. And this is the catalog I was talking about, where you eventually get a proposal. These are the KPIs you should look at. And this is what Lynn will do now. Yeah. Lynn will go with us to the spa. Just do once this exercise. And we will go more into detail on Monday. And this is again and again and again the same information. If you have done everything, this is what you have to do. You know by heart, because we talked about it in depth. You have to do a safety assessment, you have to do a human factors assessment, you have to do an environmental impact assessment, you have to do a cost-benefit analysis. So we did a lot of exercises. We don't do this because we want to focus on KPIs, right? We did a lot of exercises. They did a cost-benefit analysis and all this stuff before, yeah. And they have understood that you may skip all of it, but one. Right? There's one you have to do anyway. The safety assessment. No implementation of whatever without a safety assessment. You can forget about human factors assessment, environment, you can forget about all this. But it's absolutely mandatory, no implementation of whatever without a prior safety assessment. Okay. Very good. This is just for information. There's so many around. I'm super fit in this, no problem. When it's about environmental, this is what we did, this exercise. There are so many things around. You find this in the presentation. I want to be fast now because I want to go a bit into this part. And this is just to kind of wrap up. Make a decision based on, and this is the 6-step method, right? Scope, performance targets, do the SWOT, do blah, 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 blah. Okay? You will get the presentation very soon now. And the roadmap, or let's say the master plan, we will have a look at tomorrow. Okay? Do you have a quality department? Monitoring, it's Mr. Dunn?
No, Anna.
No.
It's Anna.
Anna and
Our department divided into two parts, safety and quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So quality on one hand is what we talked about, USOPA from ICAO when they do the audits. Quality, maybe you have a certificate according to ISO 9001?
Yeah, ISO, following the ISO 9001 2015.
There's a new one, 2022?
Let me check with the ISO.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, however, you follow the 9001 ISO standard?
Yeah.
So this is what, but now it comes to who does the performance monitoring for all the performance targets and the effort you take. So is there something monitoring the various projects. Yes, we are on the right track. Yes, we are reaching the milestones. Yes, we are achieving the ambitions, the goals we have set, the targets. Is there something? There should be something. There should be a performance monitoring report, maybe on a quarterly basis, provided to your general manager. Yeah, we have agreed on this performance targets, we have agreed on the activities, these are the projects, and this is how we do. Okay? We talked about this last time already, and my question was, is there a performance monitoring and performance monitoring report at VATM?
Mình có báo cáo có chất lượng có mà đúng không?
Chi tiết về cái phần
I will share examples later on, yeah. I will share examples from other regions, how they do that, and you can, there will be a link, you can go into the document and see how they do, how they report, how Europe reports, yeah. Number of implementation or improvement in performance, in what area. So there should be at least a small report for VATM. This is what we agreed on, this is what we did. Okay? Transparency is key. Okay? Okay, perfect. Good enough? Okay, I want to go to the spa with you. Are you ready? Perhaps you can help her, or I do help. So I can do by myself anyway. So if you want to go from here,
Kia có thể đi ra thầy nhỉ? Các bạn có thể đi ra kia làm việc trên bàn này.
Bắt buộc họ để làm một cái monitoring report phải cơ sở một phần bao nhiêu cái bên nào bao nhiêu việc làm được mình cũng cái bản thảo của cái phần thực ra nếu mà chỉ báo cáo nó sẽ bị mất không đúng rồi chính xác thế cho nên một phần này nếu ban ví dụ ban nó sẽ cũng chỉ là phù hợp nhất trong cái làm dự thảo thì lãnh đạo ông mới định ông có dữ liệu không thì cơ quan chứ còn ông chúng mình
So, are you ready? Not yet? Okay, come on.
bây giờ thì nhân mình vô quan của lý trọng bảo
So you are now the master of ceremony?
No.
Okay. This is Ms. Lin, now doing the system performance assessment. Yeah? Okay. This is we go to the SPA now, AN SPA, navigation system performance. No, we are already did it.
Start a new
We're good. Start a new one. Okay, we start a new one. Give it a time. It needs some time to load up or down. Okay. So let's do it again. 4 colleagues already know. Last time we chose maybe a different scenario. Let's figure out one scenario you want to look at, the geographical scope. Yeah? And normally what you do is that you may have a problem today, deficiency. Today I have a problem in this area, right? Or what you can say is I will have a problem tomorrow. Yeah? And therefore I want to look at it. Okay? So the 4 colleagues maybe should do not sleep. They fall asleep. But let the others do this thing because they haven't done it before. But you can help of course if you want to. Okay? But all the colleagues here now who haven't done it before, please choose one geographical scope. Select one operational environment. You think there will be a big challenge or you have a problem. Yeah. For example, do you have a problem in the tower area? Do you have a problem in the TMA area we talked about, which you mean, or Hanoi even? Is it more in the en route part? Do you have some issue somewhere? you want to look at? Of course, help if you want to. It's just to understand the process. What did you choose? Sorry? Aerodrome. Okay. Okay. Good. Aerodrome. Aerodrome. Okay. Aerodrome. Okay. So now it's already there. It's almost today. Or do you see the problem coming? Maybe in 5 years. 5 years would be medium term. 3 to 5. Right?
Today.
More medium term.
Short term.
Short term. Can you tell me what are you looking at? What are you thinking of? Which airport?
Maybe in Mumbai or International Airport, we need to increase the capacity to when the demand is increased.
Yeah. So, but you say it's short time. It's coming already. It's knocking on the door. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Very good. So, which region do you belong to? Mhm. Okay. So you will remember the 6-step method, and this now tells you something about the context, right? And this is what he shared so beautiful, right? This is the APEC Air Navigation Plan version 4 from September 2024 now. Here you will find the old one. For whatever reason, it hasn't been uploaded yet. But you will find this here, right? So this is very helpful. If you go into it, you will have all the documentation. You would find the forecast. What will be the traffic forecast for your area with regard to aerodromes? It's the entire area, but you could also go down to Vietnam. Now you have a good number. You know that where your government wants to go, right?
Yeah.
So
We have some numbers.
you have numbers, so that's good. Then we can just continue. So what is the issue? What do you think? Do you want to increase the efficiency, or safety is bad at the airport? Lots of occurrences. It's capacity? Okay, I'm just. I know it's capacity. Excuse me.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good. Let's see.
So you see, this is what you should do then, right? Oops. Okay. Yeah, go like that. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So this. Okay. Yeah, you may come back like here. Okay. Oh no! What did you do? Forward. Again, the other. Forward. Forward. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Doesn't do that. Do it faster again. Aerodrome. Airside. Shoulder. Upright. Okay. Do the next. Capacity. So this is what Lee has done and presented at corporate level. Now you will do the same thing with a strong regard, focus on Dubai, for example. So the airport. Okay. You should do that. There will be very good. So start questions now. Supports you in doing so. So more aircraft will arrive. Will come in. Okay. Do it together with the group. Please let everyone ask. Don't do it by yourself alone. You are the moderator now. Okay. You may ask the group. What do you think, colleagues?
Yes.
Is it okay? You need to have a conversation. Talk to your colleagues, please.
Yes.
Yes,
You have
yes.
some questions?
Yes.
Level 3 actually. No. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We are having a plan to expand the terminal
Nhưng mà
So this is,
Apron
we are very fast, you're very fast. Take your time, please.
Em nói.
Cái gì?
tắc nghẽn
Terminal
là
có nội bài đang phải mở nhà ga Tân Sơn Nhất vừa xong T3 mà không congested.
có là vừa là terminal xong rồi bây giờ là đến apron rồi.
Apron yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Apron thì có.
Yes.
Ok, bách lại.
Đừng bách lại, đừng nhiều quá.
Ok, we come back. Yes.
Không, tôi đừng câu một rồi học.
Facilitated airport.
Yes, đúng rồi.
Actually,
Ý là sao chị?
hạ tầng sân bay, cảng luôn nhé.
level 2 là kiểu
Level 3
What is the difference between level 2 and level 3?
So we can talk about the difference, but it doesn't matter because it only says yes or no. Is the airport coordinated? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mình đồng bộ với nhau.
Okay. So,
Yes, đúng rồi.
Đây,
Cái này
Yes.
terminal là
so
có.
wait a minute. I knew why I would volunteer you. You are so fast, but maybe too fast. So you remember? So it's airside, right? And I was talking about do people have to queue already in front of the security, right? Airport security.
Yes.
So these are all things, yeah. But this would not necessarily be in your scope because you are not the airport authority, right? Here you would need to talk to someone else. So airside is missing. Okay. But, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Mm-hmm. The terminal is congested. Okay. It's congested. So aircraft have to wait until a gate is vacated and then they can go in and sometimes. So it's very
Còn nhà ga.
taxiway congested. Sometimes. We don't have rapid taxiway, so yes.
Really, is it? So you're looking into the future, right? What is today and what will be tomorrow if you do not change anything, right? So, yeah.
Vicinity of the terminal airspace, mình có bị congested không? Chờ suốt ngày.
Vicinity mà.
Vicinity.
Trong
Không,
có.
tùy trường hợp thôi, nếu mà khi mà cần thiết tôi nghĩ.
The light curfew, for
Không, nhưng mà cái
example.
vicinity trong mét là
Okay.
định nghĩa khác ấy, là cứ 8 km là được mà. Tính từ tâm sân bay ra thì cái yes vẫn được mà.
Be patient. Be patient. Everyone needs to sit in the same boat, right?
No.
No,
And
at
Brian,
the moment,
no.
At the moment, no.
Yeah, but there will be maybe.
Yeah, probably in the future.
And you're looking into. Okay. So if you want to neglect that, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nhưng mà cái phụ trách cái đấy vừa không đơn xin đi biết.
Cái chỗ Tân Sơn Nhất có kiểu combine setter không?
Có.
TMA á. Thì nó là yes rồi. Ủa cái câu vừa nãy mà.
Đây,
Đấy.
Vâng,
Vâng, mà liên quan đến group của ATC á.
của ATC mà.
ATC mà.
Workload.
Của ATC mà.
Có cái gì workload.
Ý em là ví dụ chẳng hạn như là nó ảnh hưởng đến việc mà mình phải combine setter của trong khu vực TMA á. Thì nó đến có hạn chế ảnh hưởng tới cái workload của ATC không ấy.
Thực ra là thời điểm này ở thì mình anh thấy một cái nào mà liên quan đến cái về
Can you clarify this question? Because we're considering is that we can combine the sector in TMA or not? Is that meet the demand of this question? Because
It's more referring to air traffic control officers' workload.
For example, in the peak hour, we have two sectors, but when the traffic flow is lower, we can combine Is that meet the demand? Or can we set it yes?
That means, are there any constraints associated with air traffic control officers' workload?
Ví dụ như mục đích nào đầu tiên là bao nhiêu tàu utilization is then flight maybe.
So, for example, I try to figure. So, you should answer the question more intuitively, right? So, but the idea behind is, for example, is the communication workload too high? So, to have the people to talk too much for whatever reason. Yeah? So, an air traffic controller has 8 screens, and he has to look all the time to all screens and integrate the information, or is it just one screen with all information on one screen? So all the things that drive an air traffic controller's workload up. You know? So it's more about air traffic control workload. It's not about ATC capacity. Yeah, it's not air traffic control as an organization capacity. It's more the ATCO's workload.
Hay lấy ví
So
dụ chẳng
if
hạn.
there's very low
Hay lấy
traffic,
ví dụ chẳng hạn như là một
you
cái
combine
gì đó
sectors
mà
because
nhìn thông tin
the
rất là
traffic
thông tin
allows
tại vị trí của người ta.
one or two ATCOs, an executive and a planner to cover everything, right?
Cái này là về quốc lốt.
Because the workload allows, right?
Còn nếu mà
If the traffic goes up,
phân chia sector thì
they cannot
chắc là nó về
any
capacity
longer
hơn.
accommodate the demand. So you have to split the sectors because the workload of only 2 ATCOs cannot manage the traffic, so therefore you split, right? It's more about the air traffic control officer's workload. So are there constraints?
Yes. In Ho Chi Minh ACC we have sector 3, 4, and 7, and when the volume of the traffic is high, it will turn into 3 sectors, but if it's low, it will just sector 3 and 4.
Cái đầu tiên Linh chọn là của airport đúng không?
It's about airports.
Airport đúng không? Không phải.
Yes, we have. In Tân Sơn Nhất International Airport, we have a ground control, right? We have 2 sectors, but in low traffic density, we can combine it
Yeah.
into one.
Mhm.
Yeah, only in Ho Chi Minh because in Nội Bài we only have two ground control.
Mhm. Okay, imagine a situation, all sectors are open. We are on a tower. With sector, I mean all working positions. All working positions are open and manned, right? And the traffic picks up. And the controllers cannot any longer accommodate because there are so many aircraft and they have to talk a lot and have to take everything into consideration and say, stop, that's too much. Yeah? Impose a restriction or whatever. So this would be a constraint based on or resulting from the workload which is exceeded. Okay?
So we have constraint with workload.
If you don't have that today, we call it an overload. You know, we get overload reports from ATCOs. They are overloaded. And then we have to impose a restriction. Yeah. Okay.
Chắc là mình có cái mô hình
Còn tiếp tại sao lại tự thân lưu 1, 2?
Không, mà nếu mà nói như thế thì mình không có, bởi vì Tân Sơn Nhất, ví dụ Tân Sơn Nhất bây giờ đã có 2 rồi, sẽ không có cái tình huống mà lên quá mà ground không làm được nữa mà phải tách tiếp. Chỉ có Nội Bài bây giờ liệu có đến mức là phải tách không thôi.
So do you receive overload reports from your ATCOs? No.
No.
They are all happy. Then it's good. Then say no.
In the past we do have, and that's
We
why
already
we
saw that.
divide. That's why we divided into 2 sectors in Tân Sơn Nhất ground control. But
Okay.
right now we don't have.
Okay.
No, we don't have.
Then say no.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
With height.
Well,
Hai cái này song song độc lập, không phải song song độc lập.
we have two
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 way
way.
parallel. But
The currently is separated by only 300 meters.
So it's not independent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
So
a
you
small
don't see
one, a
This
single,
one.
single.
No.
You have two runways,
Yeah.
right? And what you can do, you can do an isolated mode. You can have one waiting for the departure and one coming in for arrival.
Yeah, yeah.
Once the touchdown is done safe, you can have a departure.
Yeah.
So it's much better than using it as a single runway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it would make, there are con-ops that would allow high capacity than if you have just one.
Okay. So actually, no.
I would say doesn't necessarily mean independent.
Yeah, that is.
How long is the long period?
Yeah, for like every morning for 3 months, so or at least 1 month, I think is a long period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is a good example. You have an FOB on one runway, you can use the other.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
No.
Cả rồi mà.
Nhưng mà long period FOD detection because
Mình có
Long mà how time?
có anh là long được.
No, up to 60 seconds, not long.
60 seconds?
Yeah.
All aircraft at the latest have departed the runway.
it's a
Have
long.
vacated the runway.
It's long.
It's long.
60 seconds?
Yeah.
It's not fast, but it's not too long.
So
It's not a high intensity runway operation, that's not
long
right.
rồi.
Yeah.
High intensity runway operation is much faster. It's like, yeah? Okay.
Có.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your final approach?
Mày có bị giới hạn gì ở final approach không nhỉ?
Nào.
No. No. We don't.
Ủa?
More than 10%? No, no. No. Distance. Final approach.
Sau đó mình nộp mình giờ về nó vẫn tương
Nó 2 phút, nhưng mà nó tăng là...
So what is your minimum separation minima at final approach? Was it 3 nautical miles? Was it?
Yeah.
3 nautical miles. And you do apply 3 nautical miles.
Yeah.
Consequently. Good.
Crosswind.
No.
Your arrival capacity above the FO utilization. FO, what is FO? Is a utilization. Probably it's
That's an RSMC. An RSMC.
yeah. That's people business.
Yeah.
So what does it mean FO?
Typo. No.
Ah,
Four.
okay. Four.
So is the arrival,
For,
is the
okay.
utilization for the arrival capacity about 80%? So,
Còn trên
so are you at your limit already?
Yes, yes.
More or less.
Chắc chắn là
Are
trên
you
8.
already-
Chứ đấy là sẽ viết sai rồi. Chắc chắn là phải trên 80%
Like every
gì
time
đó.
on the speak time, during peak time, yeah, of course.
Yes. Four. Don't have to L.
During peak time only.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, no.
No.
Is it a single?
Now the questions can reverse.
Okay.
Nó câu hỏi về
Okay, remain.
imbalance. Có thể thay đổi
Mất cân
có imbalance thì mình có thể thay đổi.
Có.
ATFM?
Mình
Imbalance?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Lin says yes. Do you see ATFM?
Nó nhỏ, nó thường diễn ra ít ra hay là như thế nào?
The imbalances, minor, occasional, and or temporary? All the time? Sometimes?
3 or 4 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. And they're temporary.
Yeah. Use.
End of question.
Continue.
Okay. Continue. Okay. So here's just identify objectives, right? And here you just say,
select,
yes, understood, okay.
Select, select discontinues not.
So this is just, you may correct the one or the other statement, right?
Select.
So once you know your operational environment, it's important to set objectives. Please find hereafter a proposed list of performance objectives from the IQ Performance Objective Catalog based on the answers you provided, right? Please confirm your selection of objectives and, if necessary, select, delete, or other performance from the catalog. So we could be fast now, yeah, but it's just to provide an idea that there is such a method, and there's a tool you can use if you want to go home and play with it, right? So they say efficiency you may ignore, right, as a performance objective. You said no issue with efficiency. Okay, so you would say it's okay. Capacity, partial, right? You could choose and say, no, select it as an objective I fully want to pursue, or ignore, or leave it partial. Okay? We just leave it, okay? It's just about to understand. Predictability you may ignore. You have no safety issue, you have no security issue, you have no environment issue. So this is the idea, okay? Therefore, just ignore it. You tell the system, ignore it. Okay, I have no issue with it, but please ignore it. Okay. And then you go further down. So this is it, and then you say, save changes, continue to the next step. And now becomes the first the quantification of objectives. No? And it says you can only manage what you can measure. Now we are approaching to KPIs. Okay? You need to measure, and to measure you need something. And it says, well, we already did come up with a smart targets. And they are telling you, based on what you have told me, yeah, in order to facilitate this task, we have defined a series of KPIs, and please find hereafter the IQ KPI associated to the performance objective you have defined. Yeah? This is what you have selected. And this one is telling you, if the problem is like that, as you told me, you should monitor KPI 10. Okay? KPI 10, we will see what KPI 10 means, huh? But it's airport, peak, throughput. All the other stuff I've told you already. So, then you go here. And now it tells you, we found some solutions for you. What should you look at in order to improve the situation? And these are, or this is, the threat you should look at, yeah, in order to improve the situation at this airport or within this team. And after, yeah, and you see what we're talking about, and therefore, without knowing what you would type in, you remember that I was going to Li. Do you have a good look at the TMA, at the airspace design, at the sits and stars, right? And so on and so forth. Because after is TMA, after is airspace design, TMA, including all ups and downs. So if you want to do a good thing for Hanoi approach or airports,
We have to improve the seat and start.
you have to have a look at APTA.
Yeah.
This course is not about threats, yeah, but just to tell you, this is what they tell you. And they say, come on, just in case you want to know what APTA is. Sorry, it takes a while. So, this is APTA, okay? engineers will say, performance-based navigation capabilities. Of course, this means something for me. Yeah, RNAV or whatever I have to put in place in order to support this operation. What is the purpose? What are the new capabilities? Yeah, and so on and so forth. And it tells you something about the stakeholders you need to involve as well. Because we figured out that sometimes the airport is also involved. So you need to see here what are the planning layers. It's about operations, departure, arrival. Yeah. What are the enablers here, supported by the various elements. So you get a report. And the report really, and this is the beauty of this method and this tool, is that it provides a solution based on your problem and the answers you provided. And it's a kind of catalog, it's a manual, and it tells you, you have to do this, and this you can do by your own. Yeah? Then you have to do this, and this you can do by your own, but you need your competent authority, or civil aviation authority. You need to talk to this guy. Yeah? You want to do this because there was a congestion, a terminal area, whatever. This is land side or air side. You need to talk to the aircraft operator. Okay? You want to introduce PBM or whatever, yeah? Or not, you need to have the aircrafts being equipped appropriately so you can fly. Yeah? Talk to these guys. Are you ready? Okay? So this is really a nice menu. It tells you so many things. Okay? Yeah? I would say give a big applause to Miss Lynn. She did so well. Thank you very much. Thank you. You did so well. Beautiful. Okay. So I know you're getting hungry. However, please allow me to just rush to some last slide because we wanted to call it a day after lunch. But I think the exercise, in particular for those who did not participate in the previous courses, was interesting. Yeah? Was it? Okay. Just in preparation of for Monday, right? First, to just keep in mind when you take a decision, a good gut feeling is a good thing. A gut feeling is really a good thing because it's built on lots of expertise, experience, and knowledge. Gut feeling is not like that. It's really important. Yeah. But make your homework and find some data and do the analysis and let it based on data and a good analysis, right? So here you find APTA, improved arrival and departure procedures. You will remember when we were talking about the 22 threats yesterday. Okay, this is the list. It's not content of the course to go into detail, but it was a nice exercise to tell you, if I have this problem, there's something in for me to improve the operations within this team. Okay? So, interesting. I go to this thread. I do not have to go here, not there, but it is the idea. Okay. We were talking about this. Forget about it. Okay? Just forget about it. This is an idea of ICAO, and let's all together move into what, and in 20 years from now we will be. That's good. It's a good vision, yeah. But be patient and understand where you are. This is my context, this is my baseline, and this is what I need to do within the next 5 years. Yeah? And being successful means much more than following whatever, yeah, and implement whatever shiny solutions, yeah, without any impact on my performance. Okay? Oh, we were talking about the concept of operation, yeah. This is super, super important. And I'm so grateful, Lee, again, that we were talking about the situation at Hanoi Airport, the two airports, and what a difference the one or the other concept can make. Yeah? If my concept of operation at Nobai means only wide bodies, only international maybe, or no helicopters, there's no general private, nothing, yeah. This will be very much different than from, okay, everything, yeah, at every airport. Sorry. So, and this will be our focus on Monday. We will talk about key performance areas, as there are 11, okay? Very important for the examination, as you know. There are 11. We will try to understand what is behind the one or the other KPA. Okay. We will talk briefly about the manual. Do you have the manual?
We do have for sure.
You do have for sure, of course. Have you read it, the manual?
No, not read on the word like from top to the end. Yeah, we did read it, some part of it.
Okay. This is an interesting document because it provides a lot of information. You do not have to reinvent the wheel again, right? We will go through this document briefly, and we will try to understand what is a KPI, what is a metric, yeah, what are the various indicators. As we have been told, choose 10. Remember? Yeah. Then how to calculate 10. This is the idea for Monday and Tuesday morning. And I kindly ask you for your support again, as you provided today. Again, you are a fantastic group again. I love you, Tim, I have to say more and more. That we focus on EATM cases. Yeah. As we agreed on, you should take something back home you can really use from the first day to build a good proposal for your management to say, this is how we should proceed, maybe. And by the way, it's a good benchmark. Yeah? And then you can have a conversation. Yeah? Same for you. Okay. So, I'd like to stop here. Yeah? Okay?
Yeah, we put it a day.
Let's call it a day? Okay. So, for you four, ladies and gentlemen, kind of refreshment or redo. For you, I hope lots of new things as well, right? And now we get then into work on Monday morning, and we have 2 full days to really work on your issues, and I hope that you can take away as much as you can. So that's a good thing. We will have a good presentation on Monday afternoon, focusing on key performance indicators as DFS was defined and follow, how we do reporting, what the dashboard looks like. This will be in a different place. And we will have a separate presentation on Tuesday, in particular for the safety people. Okay, that's good as well. If something comes across your mind, yeah, we can work over the weekend on. Sacrifice more private time. Yeah.
I guess the sacrifice.
Do not hesitate. We are willing to do everything. Okay. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Any plans now? Where you go?
We will separate into 2 groups.
You separate into groups, okay? And one group will go to
Switzerland.
Switzerland! Where do you go? It's Zurich or Bern, or where you go?
Switzerland.
Bring your mouth. Oh, that's beautiful.
Mountainous area.
Yeah. That's great.
That's really great. And you do hiking there?
No.
Yeah, it's
Just
beautiful. And the other group?
Stuttgart
Seaside.
and
Where do you go?
Stuttgart.
Now Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We move south to Liechtenstein.
But what do you do in Stuttgart?
Visit the city.
That's good. Yeah. You know, we have lots of industry in Stuttgart as well. Stuttgart is auch Porsche, ne?
Stuttgart ist Mercedes.
Mercedes. And there's a Mercedes museum. Very interesting. The museum is very interesting. Yeah. Lots of things you can do. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for your contribution and collaboration.